You uploaded the same document into 3 different projects. You wrote out the same background twice in 1 week. And somewhere in there, you assumed the problem was you, that you were the disorganized one who never set it up properly. It wasn't you. Projects cannot see each other, not because a feature is missing, and not because you skipped a setting, because the wall between them is the thing being sold. So here's what the next 13 minutes are for. First, exactly where that wall sits, so you stop being surprised by it. Then, why it's there, which is the part that changes how you organize. Then, a structure that works with the wall instead of against it. Run through 5 real tasks. And at the end, the one rule that decides whether 2 projects should be one. Here's what the wall costs when you can't see it. You keep a project for work and a project for a side thing. The same reference document belongs in both, so you upload it twice. Then you edit it, and now one copy is current and one is stale. And you have no way to tell which chat is reading which. That's the actual failure. Not lost time. That part is annoying but survivable. The failure is that you end up with 2 versions of the truth inside one tool, and the answers you get stop being reproducible. You ask the same question in 2 projects, and you get 2 different answers, and both of them look confident. And the reason this video exists is that the reaction to it is always the same shape. In a set of 4,525 viewer comments we went through, this came up as one of the recurring complaints. And the recurring line was not, "This tool is broken." It was people apologizing to themselves. One person wrote that they were wondering whether they had just been making things harder for themselves. Another said that they finally understood why it had been so difficult to mix all the information they had inside Claude. Read that again. They finally understood. The information was never going to mix. They spent months treating a designed boundary as a personal failing, because nothing in the interface says out loud that the boundary is there. That's a structure problem wearing the costume of a discipline problem. Which is why trying harder has never fixed it for anyone. Everything downstream comes from one question. When you send a single message, what is Claude allowed to look at? There are exactly 3 layers, and there is no 4th. Most of the confusion in this whole area comes from people assuming a 4th exists. Layer 1 is the conversation you're in. Everything you've said in this chat, and everything Claude has said back. That layer surprises nobody. Layer 2 is the project the conversation lives in, and it has 3 parts. The instructions you set for the project, the files you put in project knowledge, and the memory the project has built up. Anthropic's own description is that projects are self-contained workspaces with their own chat histories and knowledge bases. Read that phrase slowly. Self-contained is not marketing language. It is the specification, and everything you're about to hear falls out of it. And layer 3 is the one that doesn't exist. There is no ring outside the project. Your other projects are not in there. Your other project's knowledge files are not in there. The chat you had last Tuesday in a different project is not in there. Now the part that turns this from a complaint into a model. Memory is not one pool that spans your account. Anthropic's published position is that if you use projects, Claude creates a separate memory for each project. Separate. One per project. So the thing you told Claude about how you like your writing structured, inside the client project, is not something the research project knows. It was never going to be. And here is why that matters more than the inconvenience. The stated reason for the separation is that it keeps product launch planning separate from client work, and confidential discussions separate from general operations. That is isolation as a product decision, described in those terms by the company that built it. Think about what the alternative would actually do to your answers. If every project could see every other project, then every question you asked would be answered against everything you have ever put into the tool. Your client's tone of voice guide would be sitting in the same pile as your personal notes when you asked about either one. Retrieval would be pulling from a bigger and less relevant pool every single time. The wall is what makes an answer inside a project be about that project. Take the wall away and you don't get convenience, you get contamination, and it arrives silently, with no error and nothing on screen to tell you it happened. So the reframe is small and it changes everything downstream. The separation is not a wall you have to route around. It's the sorting you would have had to do yourself. Before the structure, the boundary in plain terms, because half of what people believe here is folklore. Project knowledge does not cross. Project instructions do not cross. Project memory does not cross. Chat history does not cross. And the only thing that crosses is you. What you carry between projects, deliberately, by putting it there. That is the entire list. It is not a long list, and there is no clever setting underneath it. One thing that has changed and is worth knowing, because it removes a reason people used to split projects. Projects used to have a hard ceiling on how much you could put in knowledge. Now, when a project's knowledge approaches the context limit, retrieval mode switches on automatically, and the documented effect is storing up to 10 times more content in a project. It's on every plan, including free, and there is nothing to configure. Which means, if you split a project because it got too full, that reason is probably gone. Splitting for capacity was always the weakest reason to split, and now it's mostly not a reason at all. There's a second wall inside the project, and it catches people who have already understood the first one. Project instructions and project knowledge are not two names for the same box. They behave differently, and the difference decides where your important rules should live. Instructions are what you set to shape how Claude answers inside that project. Anthropic's wording is that you define project instructions to further tailor Claude's responses. They're a standing rule for the project. Knowledge is the material, the files you upload so Claude understands the background. And here's the part that changes where you put things. Once a project's knowledge gets large enough, retrieval mode switches on, and the documented behavior is that the content is retrieved rather than all sitting in front of Claude at once. So think about what that means for a rule you actually care about. If you bury "never write in the first person" on page 4 of a document in project knowledge, you are relying on that page being pulled in at the moment it matters. If instead it's a line in the project instructions, it's a standing rule for every message. That gives you a clean split, and it's the one most people have backwards. Anything that must never be missed is an instruction. Anything that is reference, examples, transcripts, past work, the long documents, is knowledge. If you find yourself hoping a file gets read, you've put a rule in the wrong place. And notice that this only became true because capacity went up. When everything fit in front of the model, the distinction barely mattered. Retrieval made a bigger project possible and made where you put things matter more at the same time. That's a normal trade, and it's worth knowing which side of it you're on. So here's the structure. 3 rules, and then 5 real tasks run through them, so you can see where each one bites. Rule 1. Split projects by who reads what comes out, not by what the topic is. Topic feels like the natural boundary, and it's the wrong one, because 2 things on the same topic can need opposite instructions. Who the output is for is what your instructions actually differ on. Rule 2. The moment a document needs to live in 2 projects, it stops being project knowledge. It's a portable reference file that you own, kept outside all of them, and put into each project on purpose. You're not avoiding the duplication, you're making it a decision with a date on it instead of an accident. Rule 3. And this is the merge test. Try to write 1 line of project instructions for each of the 2 projects and make the lines different. If you can't, you don't have 2 projects. You have 1 project and a filing habit. Now 5 tasks. These are the shapes that actually show up. 1. 2 clients, same kind of work. Split and it isn't close. The output goes to different readers, the instructions genuinely differ, and the isolation is doing something you'd otherwise have to do with your own attention. This is the case the wall was built for. 2. A style guide that belongs in 3 projects. This is where people go wrong most often. They try to find the setting that shares it, and there isn't one. Rule 2 applies. The guide lives outside, you own the current version, and you put it into each project deliberately with the date on it. And say the honest part out loud. That's 3 copies to keep current. You are trading a sync cost for isolation. That trade is worth making, but it isn't free, and anyone who tells you it is hasn't run it for 6 months. 3. Research that keeps spilling across 2 projects. Run the merge test. If the instruction line you'd write for each is the same line, merge them. Capacity used to be the counter-argument here, and retrieval mode has taken most of that argument away. 4. And this is the one nobody says. A one-off task. Don't make a project. A project you use twice costs you more than never making it, because now it exists, it has stale knowledge in it, and in 4 months you'll open it and trust it. The cost of a project isn't creating it, it's every time you have to decide whether it's still current. 5. There's a correction you find yourself typing into the same project over and over. Reformat that. Stop doing this, use the other spelling. That is not a knowledge problem, and it is not you being unclear. It's a rule sitting in the wrong layer. Move it into the project instructions and it stops being something you have to remember. If you're repeating yourself inside one project, the fix is upward, not sideways. 5 tasks, 5 different answers, 1 set of rules. That's what makes it a model rather than a tip. 3 places this advice stops working, and they're worth more than the advice itself. First, the structure assumes you can make projects freely, and on a free account, you can't. Projects are available on every plan, including free, but a free account is capped at 5 projects. If that's you, the split by reader rule has to bend, and the merge test becomes the one you lean on. Second, the memory half of this is the part to hold most loosely, and that word is doing real work. Treat it as unverified. Memory rolled out to Team and Enterprise first and to Pro and Max after, and the per-project separation is documented against that rollout. Behavior may differ by tier right now, and that is worth checking on your own account rather than taking from a video. Third, and this one is about the whole category. The publish context number for a project dates from the original launch post, and retrieval mode has changed what that number means in practice. Any specific capacity figure in a video like this one has a shelf life measured in months. The 3 rules don't. They're about boundaries, and boundaries move slower than limits, which is the reason this is built as a model and not a settings walkthrough. Settings walkthroughs rot. Fast recap: 3 layers and no fourth. The conversation, the project, and nothing outside it. Memory is per project, and that separation is deliberate. It's what stops one context contaminating another's answers. Project knowledge, instructions, memory, and history do not cross. The only thing that crosses is you. Then 3 rules. Split by who reads the output. Anything needed twice becomes a file you own, kept outside. And if you can't write 2 different instruction lines, it's 1 project, not 2. If you want it on 1 page, there's a blueprint in the description. What belongs in project knowledge versus what stays portable. A naming convention that makes a stale project announce itself, and the split or merge test written out. It's free, it carries the same date as this video, and when the facts underneath it move, it gets updated or pulled. One last thing, because it generalizes past this tool. Every system you use has a boundary that somebody chose, and most of the time you'll meet that boundary as friction, before anyone explains it as a design. The people who get good at these tools aren't the ones who find workarounds. They're the ones who work out where the walls are, and then stop pushing on them. Stay in the loop.